Hello, chocolate lovers, and welcome back to Combat Corner. My name's Jackson.
My name is Colby.
His name's Kobe, and my name is
Jackson.
That's right. And you're here at Combat Corner for, once again, another episode with no card to break down.
Unfortunately not.
No massive news to go over.
There's some news.
But we're here.
Nothing huge.
We're
Guys,
fired up.
We thought we had to give you something, a little bit special.
We heard some
like it's been a while.
We heard some murmurings around, the Combat Corner circles of intelligent fandom. And we felt it was necessary to grace you with our presence once again and give you some absolutely top-notch content in the forms of us just spieling on about some MMA-related... Oh, I'm filling time,
Jackson
aren't I?
has something in his hand there.
Don't announce that to the world.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just saying that,
It's my other hand.
It's your other
Isn't it? I've got something in my hand and it's my other hand.
It is.
We have a drink.
It feels like it's been a while.
It has been
Don't you
a
think
while.
so? It's our last time recording this was
A week?
last 2 weeks ago, I think.
No, it's not.
Or
that
was it
long.
last Monday?
It was last Monday, yeah.
There you go. Drink.
Drink is Yush.
Yush. Aloe vera drink with a hint of honey.
Yeah. Contains real aloe vera.
How much is in there, Jackson? Tell me.
How much aloe vera?
Now, how many mils?
500 of them.
So we're going to be drinking the 500 ml Yush aloe vera drink with a hint of honey. Contains real aloe vera. Let's get into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Combat Corner.
No crackle, no pop, no push, just a
Do we need to shake
just a
this?
yush.
I think this is a shaking one. I'll shake it anyway, just for good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Cool. What's it like? Is it very nice?
Bitty.
Bitty.
So what's actually in this? We've got distilled water, high fructose corn syrup, aloe vera gel, honey, acidity regulators, flavors, antioxidants, and stabilizers.
Jesus.
Few things.
52.5 grams of sugar.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's mad. I suppose it's all just like, there's no added sugars in here. It's just, is aloe vera just high in sugar or something?
It could be the honey,
Distilled water.
maybe the corn syrup. Corn
Maybe.
syrup, I think, would have a fair bit of sugar in it.
Yeah,
would it
true.
not? Either way, we have a fight announcement on the Conor. What we do?
Yeah, we do. We do.
We're getting right into it.
Getting right into the show,
Not
ladies and
bugging
gentlemen.
Look, I didn't even have time to get changed today.
You wanted to be like this.
No, I didn't.
You've wanted to be like this since you started.
You've had your football jersey thing, and I've just thought, it'd be cool is if I could just show up from work and film it in my work cloth.
Good thing you are wearing something.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you guys want to see me wearing nothing at all,
We can do that for your last show.
leave a comment in the
Jackson,
comment
rock
section
hard,
below.
naked. And then it's just me and my football
Why
coat.
am I rock hard?
I don't know. I just feel like you would be.
You know me too well. Look, we've got Ian Garry versus MVP at UFC 303.
Yep.
That's a nice little rhyme, isn't it?
We've got a bit of news, honestly. In all honesty, we have a
Oh.
bit of news. There's the, yeah.
Yeah, we both just saw that.
Okay, well, what should we start off with? What do you want to start
I
off
want
with?
to start off
Let
with
me
Ian
know.
Garry.
Ian Garry.
Yeah.
So Ian Garry,
Turned his comments back on.
he turned his comments back on. I think he's slowly easing back into society.
Yeah.
And look, I'm actually kind of impressed with Ian Garry. Colby ducked him hard.
Hell yeah.
That was the perfect fight.
And there's so much hype behind it. There was a whole train
was a
steaming
train.
along. And-
Steam train.
And it was steaming right through Ian Garry's bedroom on
What's her name? Layla Machado.
But no, there was a lot going on there and a lot of hype, like building up to that. They were going back and forth on social media. Colby had taken some shots at him. Ian had taken some shots at Colby,
Yep.
and somehow
Didn't happen.
it has been fumbled.
And it's completely Colby's fault.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Ian Garry. Look, Ian Garry might be a cuck, little pussy, whatever, but he's not a pussy. He was wanting to take this fight.
Look,
he was.
and we spoke about this before, and I think you were saying Kobe said there's no contract there, and I was like, look, I don't trust Kobe.
No, not anymore. You're saying Kobe.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, okay.
I don't trust Colby.
I agree. Like, look, I used to be a big Colby Covington fan, but nowadays he's just proven to be a wet flannel. The guy lost to Leon. The guy lost to his last fight previous to that was Masvidal in like 2020.
That was
and he beat him.
2022, I think.
Yeah, ages ago. He lost to Usman before that, and then maybe he had won, but the guy's not beaten a ranked contender in a very long time. I would say it's probably about 4 years since he beat
Let's pull him
currently ranked contender.
Let's pull him up.
Let's pull off Colby.
Up.
So, Colby, look, you're a bitch. We are sick of it. Like, Ian Garry was the perfect opportunity, and he's a favourable matchup for Colby Covington. He is.
Yep.
He could have wrestled heavily. Colby's got an iron chin. Ian Garry's not the hardest hitter. He could get a takedown for sure. I just don't know. I just don't think Colby really wants to fight.
So what? His last win... So Masvidal wasn't ranked at the time, I don't think?
Nope. No, he was, but he's since retired.
Okay. Woodley, retired.
Since retired.
Robbie Lawler,
Since
retired.
RDA.
Not ranked at welterweight.
Don't think he fights at welterweight.
No, he does.
Well, he's not ranked. He's ranked at lightweight, right?
Yeah, but he wants to be taken out of the lightweight rankings because he's doing things full-time at welterweight now.
Okay. So yeah, he's 14 at welterweight, at lightweight, nothing at welterweight. Back to Colby. Damian Maia, retired. Don Hyung Kim.
Who the fuck?
Not in the UFC anymore. Brian Barberena.
Middleweight now.
Cut.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been
that's
cut.
right, yeah.
Max Griffin. I think he's also been cut. There's no one here that he's beaten. And like Colby, Ian Garry, favourable matchup. You can talk mad shit. You're on the undercard, probably the co-main event of Conor McGregor's fight.
The biggest event of the year.
The biggest event of the year. Your idol.
And that's in a year that 303 is happening. 300 is happening, sorry. Obviously,
Exactly.
303 is happening.
Exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
What does he want? What does he want? Oh, he just wants to beat an old, washed-up Wonder Boy, or like...
No, he wants to fight Oliveira.
Mm.
The fight that just makes no sense to
Nothing.
anyone apart from apparently Colby Covington and Charles.
No, I don't
Charles
get
has
his
said
mindset.
that he likes that fight too, but it does nothing for either of their careers. It does nothing for, pushing them forward in the rankings because they fight in different divisions. It does nothing for setting up a title shot for either of them. It's just a quick money grab that both of them can go in there and win or lose. They don't really walk away in a different position to what they walked into it in. So,
and why does he want to fight him at all? Like, Charles Oliveira with the offensive bottom game, if he takes down Charles, he's got to worry a lot on the ground.
And Charles has crisp Muay Thai on the feet too.
He does.
So
I think Colby's scared of losing. I think Colby Covington is scared of losing to Ian Garry. I think that's it. And he's made all these excuses. The guy's 36.
I don't even think it's
time
him
to
being
just
scared
give
of
up on
losing
him.
to Ian Garry. I think it's him being scared of losing to anyone that's currently in the top 10. Bring up the rankings again. Because who have we got at welterweight right now? We've got Usman, Bilal, Shavkat, then Colby, Jack Della Maddalena, Gilbert Burns, Ian Garry, Sean Brady, Stephen Thompson, Jeff Neal. That's the top 10 right now.
Mhm.
I feel like any of those guys are a pretty average matchup for Covington based on his last performance against Leon Edwards.
Yep.
The fact that Leon didn't put him out over 5 rounds was just a shock to me.
That was shocking, yeah.
And I can see any of these guys getting it done.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he
Bar
has a very
Stephen
good
Thompson.
time. Bilal, I think he could maybe do, but they're very similar fighters. Very similar
Even
fighters.
then, I think Bilal just out cardios him. And that's someone like Colby Covington, who is the cardio king.
Cardio king.
Like, Bilal could
I
just
don't know.
outwork him.
Usman, again, it's
Usman's
this
proven
was
that he
the
can beat him.
perfect fight. This was the biggest fight in the UFC, period, probably, to make. Outside of any Conor McGregor fight or maybe Izzy. But this was huge. Everyone was talking about this. Everyone wanted to see Ian Garry against Colby Covington, and he's just ducked him completely. Sick of it. And I never want to hear about Colby Covington ever again. We already
Wow.
talked about this. He doesn't really get that much buzz anymore.
No.
Nowadays.
But what we are left with is number 13 ranked Michael Venom Page
Mhm.
up against number 7 ranked Ian Garry. So Ian coming off a win against Jeff Neal, who at the time was ranked above him.
Yep.
And now we are seeing Ian fight down the order because we've got Jack versus Shovcut, which is, I think, in the works. If not, has it been announced yet?
Shovcut has said he's not going to be ready for Perth.
Perth.
So I think they're looking at alternates for Jack in Perth. I think Ian really wanted to fight on this particular card.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Jack obviously wants to fight on that particular card. So
Also
I think
fair enough.
we'll see Jack against someone in Perth. But I don't think it's going to be Shovcut, unfortunately. So he might fight like a Sean Brady or something.
Yep.
Hopefully he gets that done. I think he will.
Even a Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
He's
Absolutely.
performed a wee bit.
He hasn't, not in a long time. But yeah. What were we saying? Yeah, the people above him didn't want to fight him, basically.
So,
and he made a video, and I actually believe him.
what's that?
He made a video and said, look, I want to fight up in the rankings.
Oh, yeah.
No
I saw
one will
that,
take it.
Yeah.
So MVP said he will take it. That's a great fight.
It is a great fight. Styles make fights, and this here is going to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're going to struggle. They're going to struggle to sell tickets for this fight card anyway. But yeah, I think I really like this fight as a co-main event. That is huge. That just shows the draw that Michael Venom Page is, and how far his style has taken him in MMA. To the point where he's just come over from another organization.
He's a bit of a mystery.
He's just fought in his UFC debut, and now he is going to be the co-main event on, like I said earlier, the biggest event of the year.
Yep.
That is unheard of.
It's pretty cool that this has happened so quick.
And if he beats Ian Garry, look at that. He's smack bang up there in the top 10.
Number 7.
Number 7.
He's got to be considered
and
serious
he'll be
at that
one
point.
fight away. I reckon if, let's say that Leon loses to Bilal, right? Boom. Michael Page versus Leon Edwards.
Title eliminator.
Title eliminator. Because I don't think at this point Leon Edwards hasn't done enough to secure himself a rematch.
They'd probably give it to him though.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Michael Venom Page is right in there for a title shot if he can get this done.
And this division's
same
really
goes
just
for Ian Garry.
heating up. Absolutely heating up, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Like
This is
this
one of the
was
best.
pretty stale for quite some time. And now we've got a lot of fresh blood in there. Sure, we've still got the staples like Neil Magny, Gilbert Burns.
Larry's still there.
Pardon?
Colby.
Yeah,
Come on,
Colby's still there. Bilal's kind of been slowly making his way through, but like there's other new guys in there. Like Sean Brady is an exciting guy. Jack Della Maddalena has been just cooking up a storm in every single fight that he's been in so far. Shovcut, obviously. He's becoming a bigger and bigger star every time he steps into the cage.
Yeah.
So guys like these are what you need to keep a division moving.
Yeah. And it's just been fight after fight after fight.
Yeah.
These guys are all pretty active, apart from Colby. And I did actually see a petition online to remove him from the rankings, and I agree with that. He should go. But yeah, like you say, we see either of these guys win. They're probably one fight away from a title shot.
Yep.
And I think either of these guys can win. I really think that the MVP is not a good matchup stylistically for Ian Garry. I don't think it is at all. I think MVP is the more powerful of the two. I think Kevin Holland has an insanely good chin.
Oh yeah,
Like, let's be
he's
real.
proven that in
has.
multiple occasions.
And
That fight against Wonder Boy showed that.
It did.
His wrist broke before his chin. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
And Ian Machado Garry has got a bit of a pea head. He's got a small head with a tiny little
You
chin.
love bringing this up.
He does have a tiny
I
head.
think we've broken down.
And he's got the MMA guru put it in a pretty good way. He's got a big head and he's got a tiny head and a relatively thick neck.
Oh yeah,
And it makes his head look even smaller.
yeah.
But that's
dude,
not good for a chin.
Anytime he
That's what I'm
steps into the
saying.
fight, bar that last fight against Jeff Neal, he's been fireworks.
Yeah, he has, but he's been hurt. That's what I'm trying to say. He's been hurt multiple times in the UFC, especially with a left hook. People catch him with a left hook. I don't see MVP really getting him with a left hook because he's not really a hook kind of guy.
He's a kicker
He's a bit of a straight puncher,
and a kicker.
and he likes to kick.
Loves
But
kicking.
I reckon we're going to see him rock
He's
Ian.
a kicker.
I think we're going to see Ian very badly rock.
Big kicker.
He is, yeah. But I think we could see Ian Garry also win,
Oh yeah.
pointing his way to decision. What? Don't you not think so?
So you think both guys could win this
I think
fight?
they could. That's why it's a great fight, because it's either guy can win. It's not a good matchup for Ian, I don't think.
No,
What
I
do you
think there's definitely more
Jackson?
favourable matchups. I don't think Colby's an easy matchup for Ian
No,
Garry
neither
either.
do I.
But the fact that he is now up against a striker, I think, might work a bit better for him. I think Michael Venom Page is someone that, yeah, like you say, it's going to be very difficult because he showed again in that fight against Kevin Holland that it's very hard to find the mark. It's very hard to start setting up your shots because he moves so differently and he's constantly kind of darting around the cage that it makes it very awkward and unorthodox for you to stand and bang with him, or like I was kind of getting to, is setting up strikes. It's very difficult because he's constantly moving differently and changing up his motions. So yeah, I think
mesmerized Kevin Holland.
Ian's someone who has fought his best when he can sit there and kind of just slowly edge his way into the fight and like you say,
slowly point
fight the first couple of rounds, and then he really does look to kind of turn the lights out in the later parts of the fight. So yeah,
it's going to be tricky.
It is going to be tricky.
Very tricky for him. I just don't think he's got the power to match MVP. I think MVP's got the finishing ability that Ian definitely has, but I just don't think it's as good as MVP. I think we're going to see MVP get this done. Yep. Early prediction. We'll go into more detail at some point else.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. So Paige Van Zandt, absolutely embarrassing, got dropped by, what's her name?
I'm not sure what you're even talking about.
Huh?
What are we talking about? Paige Van Zandt.
Did you not see this?
Sorry.
It was Misfits boxing.
Oh, no, I don't watch the...
Paige Van Zandt was floored by an OnlyFans porn star.
Oh, was she the OnlyFans model that was on BKFC, though?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so. She's just been doing Misfits boxing, I believe. But it was pretty embarrassing. I watched it. It was not a clean shot.
Was that over the weekend?
Yeah, it was on
Was
Sunday.
that the headlining event?
That was the headline, yeah. I don't know what else they had on it. I only saw like...
Must have been huge.
Yeah, it was fucking massive. Misfits is great. So good. No, Paige Van Zandt has fought in bare knuckle.
Right.
But yeah, the other one is literally just a porn star that turned into a boxer. She's been doing Misfits, and she dropped Paige, a former UFC fighter. And she was much smaller than her too. No, it was a draw.
Oh, God.
Paige won
I
like
hate
the rest
boxing.
of the fight. No, this boxing is ridiculously annoying.
It's crap.
There's been some good boxing events recently. Haney Garcia, we got to see the drugged up, drunk Garcia beat Haney. We got to see Tyson Fury get humbled. Well, he didn't get humbled. He just got beat. He's still not humble. We got to see Usyk say, "I am Phil." I'm ready Phil. A couple times. There's been a few good boxing fights recently, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Saudi.
I still don't like it.
No. This is shit. This is shit. And it's embarrassing that Paige didn't knock out this other girl because she was a former UFC fighter fighting someone who doesn't have any pedigree. So obviously she probably didn't take it that seriously, but it's probably a bit of a payday. I think they were saying the winner would get Ronda Rousey.
Jesus.
Speaking of Rousey.
How do they pull that out?
Don't know. She's there. In the top left. Sorry, guys, you can't see that. But another headline here, I'm just reading. Ronda Rousey not interested in attending UFC events. I'd be booed. Yeah, you would.
MMAmania.com.
People don't like her, and it's not because she lost. It's because she's... Well, I don't know. It's a tough one. Because if she never lost and she was just arrogant like that, she'd have a huge fan base. But because she's arrogant and she didn't take her losses very well, people turned on her.
Yeah,
and she still hasn't accepted
fair
it.
enough. I mean, that's any sport. I would expect that to be the case. But yeah, look, do I want to see Ronda Rousey return to the cage? Sure, that would be exciting. It would definitely spice up the bantamweight division for the woman, which has been very, very stagnant of late. There's not nearly enough names to carry that on.
When was her last fight?
Rhino
Rousey. Ronda Rousey.
BD. That's right. She's in a few movies, isn't she? She's in The Fast and the Furious.
I saw her in that, yeah. So her last fight was in 2016. No, we're never seeing her come back. That was 8 years ago now. Ronda, don't come back. How old is she? 37.
Still young enough. She
That's
was
crazy.
29 in her last fight, and she retired.
Just retired.
Because
She got demolished by Nunes.
Yeah, but she was still way too cocky. Like, I honestly think that would be a big part. Like, obviously she was a bit one-dimensional, but at the same time, she was still riding the confidence of being like the biggest star in the UFC for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the same thing with Conor McGregor, really. His downfall was quite similar in the way of
it was fast.
The star power got to his head, and all of a sudden he didn't take training as seriously, and next thing he knew, he was getting bounced around by Dustin Poirier. But let's stop talking about Ronda Rousey. I want to talk about...
All right, jeez.
What? I want to talk about our boy, Carlos Ulberg.
Oh, yeah.
Getting booked against the third-ranked Jamal Hill. Big news. Okay?
Big news. It is big news, yeah. Carlos Ulberg taking a huge step up here in competition. What was his last fight? Manfield.
Just the other week. The last card that we broke down.
Yeah, correct.
And now, obviously getting that fight done in 12 seconds.
He was able to make a quick turnaround.
Roundtree pulling out of the Jamal Hill fight. And so now we will see Carlos Ulberg get the biggest test and possibly the biggest opportunity he will ever get.
He wins this fight. He's fighting for the belt next, probably.
Yep.
You know,
he loses this fight, and
not that big of a deal if he loses it.
No,
that's the thing.
I think he'll still be fighting up the order.
Yeah, if he goes in there and puts on a good show and he somehow loses, the guy's still got the balls to jump into this co-main event against a really tough opponent in Jamal Hill with knockout power on the Conor McGregor card. His star power will rise for sure, no matter what.
And if you think back to when we were breaking this card down before it happened, this is what I said I wanted to see from him. I said, I knew he was going to beat Manifield. I said that. And I said...
Mystic Max strikes again.
Because I did. I said, once he wins this fight, I want to see him fight a long way up the order against the loser of Jamal Hill versus Roundtree. And now we're seeing him step into that fight itself. He's like leapfrogging a whole lot of ranked light heavyweights who, you know, were probably waiting in the wings and ready to be back up on this fight.
Yeah.
But because he's now riding off a big win, people know who he is. He's jumping in there, and I think this is going to be a crazy fight, man. Like, I really do.
I think we're going to see him get it done.
I think Jamal Hill's coming back way too quickly after getting like sparked out.
And Carlos Ulberg is not a very good matchup whatsoever
for anyone.
For Jamal especially, because he's a southpaw fighter, Jamal, and he drops when he throws that straight left hand. He drops his right hand. Ulberg is a orthodox fighter who likes to paw with the lead and throw hooks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying here?
It's an Alex Pereira.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a good matchup for Jamal Hill, and I can see why Ulberg would be even if it wasn't a good matchup, he would have taken it. But I can see why he sees this as a great opportunity. And like, if he can beat Hill and get a title shot, they can build that as like Adesanya's mentee. What is it called? Student.
Protege.
Adesanya's protege comes back and defends his honor against Alex Pereira at 205. And that's a pretty big, storyline.
Boom. Ankalaev gone.
Who cares about fucking Ankalaev? I'm sure if he wanted a title shot, he would have got one by now. Surely, right? Come on.
I don't know, man.
What's up with him? What's up with Ankalaev? Ooh.
There's bullets just there in the corner.
What's wrong with him?
Is he injured or what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Look, he is an odd dude, man.
He is. Magomed.
The whole thing with Yarn, the whole thing with Johnny Walker. I feel bad for him because he got right to the top and showed that he was a dominant guy who has quite a rounded skill set compared to most other light heavyweights. Like light heavyweight is probably one of the lower skilled divisions in the UFC,
especially when
right
it comes
now.
to wrestling.
And I'm saying that in comparison to heavyweight. We've got some pretty decent wrestlers at heavyweight. We've got an incredible jiu-jitsu specialist at heavyweight. And yet we don't seem to have much of that going on at light heavyweight.
A lot of strikers.
A lot of strikers.
A lot of strikers. And people who just don't really want to use their wrestling.
Yep.
Anthony Smith, he's got some decent takedowns and some pretty good jiu-jitsu. He could really, on his day, make it to the top.
He's got some hot takes.
Like we used to have Glover. He had some amazing wrestling and he used it.
John
really
Jones.
Well. John Jones,
DC.
JBJ, DC, Daddy DC. The man that you now weigh more than.
Dumpy DC.
Jackson weighs more
I don't.
than DC.
Pull that up. I honestly will not weigh more.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah. Okay. Then you'll call me at weight.
Weight loss. Okay, well,
And
what about
that would have been at his last fight.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you're getting up there, mate.
Park it.
You better watch it out. I'm just saying,
I will get to 115
yourself.
kilos.
Okay.
I will, but I'm gonna cut first.
Right.
Right. I'll slip back under 100 kegs.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'll start hitting legs. And then
I got to say, everyone, Jackson never hits legs
I've hit legs 3 times.
in the last.
6 months.
Yeah. So I'm going to start a cull of all of Jackson's friends. We're all going to not be your friends until you start hitting legs.
That's ridiculous.
No,
you
it
have
isn't.
friends that don't work out at all.
Oh, I'm not friends with them anymore.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to tell them all.
That's ridiculous.
I think that's completely fair. Also,
How?
we've mentioned Jack we've mentioned Jack calling us.
Yeah.
He's never done it.
What a pussy.
Jack, when we record, maybe he stopped watching.
No, there's no chance of that.
I'm going to put it on. Right, Ash.
He left a comment about him calling and said that we'd be lucky.
Did he say
Jack,
that?
you're lucky that we sit here and
It's all for you.
Yeah.
And Ash and
when
Zach.
we came up with this idea, we were like, oh, we've got to do something because
We've got to do something for Jack.
we don't see Jack that much, and we want him to see us. Because, let's be honest, it's probably a lot more enjoyable for him to see us than it is for us to see him. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Okay?
All right. Yeah, sure.
He gets way more of a buzz out of, look at me. This face. Your face. You've got a nice face. We've got nice. Sorry, Jack.
He's got a lovely face, mate. Don't fucking start with that. All of our viewers are beautiful people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Apart from you when you rewatch them.
Hey.
Hey, no, I'm just joking. Look, back to the fight news. John Jones is gay. Just let that be known. That's it. Let's leave it at that. So Ulberg, if he can get the win, dangerous opponent. Huge step up in competition for Ulberg. This isn't, Manfield, who's just going to run at you blatantly, trying to knock you out, and you
No.
can clip. This is a patient, heavy-handed boxing heavy boxer.
And it's Jamal Hill over 3 rounds as well. He hasn't fought a 3-round fight in a wee while now. And
He's got cardio for days.
he's got cardio for days. But what I'm saying is he will go out there swinging.
Yeah. And he's not going to try and take him down because Jamal Hill's got a weird ego issue where he can't use his brain, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
He always wants to beat them at what they're best at. And fair enough, the man's got balls. Striking with Alex Pereira when he knows he can probably take him down, He'll do the same here. I think, early prediction, I think we're going to see Ulberg get it done. I really do. I just think it's written in the stars.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to see him get it done.
Since I saw this guy, in the first time I saw him fight in the UFC, I'm like, wow, I would love to see him get all the way to the top. And now that he is fighting top-level competition, he's still making easy work of them, and he's showing so much potential as a rising star, as a young guy who can make it all the way to the top. And even if this isn't his time to get to that title
He's
shot,
got time.
I think he'll
He's got time.
come out of this fight. He'll fight someone like a Jan Blachowicz, maybe even a Johnny Walker.
Piotr Jan.
Piotr Jan's probably a little bit small, but like
2 Piotr Jans at the same time.
2 Piotr Jans at the same time. That'd be a good matchup. I actually don't like that matchup for Ulberg, but
No.
Look,
2 single legs.
on a serious note, big ups to Carlos Ulberg. We both really wanted to see this fight happen, obviously.
We're wishing you the best, Carlos.
Sure
you don't
actually
need it.
If he loses this, book him against Roundtree.
Yeah, and give Hill the title shot, probably.
Or just give Hill
Yuri.
Yeah.
Surprised Yuri didn't step in for this fight. Maybe they didn't go to him. Maybe he's not quite ready because he had some injuries from that last fight.
I honestly think it's just Carlos Ulberg riding this win. They want to keep that hype train rolling. And what better way to do it than book him against a former champion so that they can propel him straight into a title shot.
Right up the arse. Yeah, absolutely. Look, let's move on. One thing I wanted to bring up was Conor McGregor, his recent interviews. He stated that he wants to remain sober for 10 weeks leading into his
it's
fight.
Been a few,
it's been
like
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
6
5 weeks now.
6 weeks away. So that was about a week ago. About a week ago.
Right, that was unnecessary.
Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor declares he was out after 2:15 a.m. party in his pub, just weeks out from UFC 304. What's this? I'm pretty sure he was drinking. I'm pretty sure he was going hard. On Friday night, McGregor's famed Dublin hotspot hosted a secret gig with American DJ, someone with his fiancee Dee Devlin, partying and celebrating with fans. So McGregor has publicly insisted he's done with drinking, but he was posing with his drinks. I don't know,
It's
man.
product placement, dude. Like
It is.
He was
Yeah.
in that interview with Oscar.
De La Hoya.
No,
Oscar Willis.
Oscar Willis, and they were sitting there with pints, and all he did was sniffed it. And Oscar Willis was a bad man and sculled the whole thing.
Downed it, didn't he?
That's good to
He's
see.
cool.
I like that guy.
He is cool, yeah. I like you, Oscar. He watches the show.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I can send him it. See what he thinks.
Didn't you ask his advice when we first
I
started
did.
this? And you're having a little bit of a chat with him?
Yeah,
That's nice.
it is. I'll send him the link to this.
Didn't you try and go to have a drink with him in Sydney?
He wasn't there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, it took me like 3 hours to get to him.
Oh.
So
Well. Well. Shout out to Oscar Willis.
shout out to the lad. I'll send it to him. Don't worry. He's my good mate. So yeah, hopefully Conor McGregor can stay sober. Jackson, is there anything else you want to talk about?
There's not much going on, man.
There's not really.
I mean,
Khabib Nurmagomedov makes prediction for UFC 302.
yeah, this one thing I was going to say. Poirier talking about his possible retirement after this fight. That's never a good sign when you're going into, one of the biggest fights of your career.
He did say that again with the last fight, though. He says every fight, he's like, at this age, blah, blah, blah. You never know when it's going to be your last fight.
I think he's just saying that to kind of set up his retirement
Yeah.
in terms of like, I'm not going to say an excuse, but because I do like the guy. I like what he's all about. I like where he's come from. I like that he's made something out of his life, when it looked at times that there wasn't really.
Louisiana swamp trash,
The guy is impressive. Whether you like him or not, he goes in there and he stands and bangs. He follows a game plan when he needs to, but he's looking to put on a performance. It's not just a fight to him. It's a performance, and I like anyone who does that.
I want him to do it.
He's had
so bad.
Yeah, so do I. Because I like the matchups that are there for him. You know what I mean? Apart from
I want him
Islam,
to do it and then retire.
Yeah,
For good. Never come back. Do the Khabib.
and then you've got Islam versus what's his name? He just beat Oliveira.
Tsarukian.
Sarukian for the vacant title.
Just do it. Don't give Islam a chance to beat you. Retire. Just fucking retire. Just be done.
Finish on top, yeah.
Yeah, finish on top like a diamond.
I mean, it's what he's been working to for so long.
If he can do it, I'm gonna nut in my pants.
It's not
instantly.
many people, if any people, that have been given a title shot 3 times. Oh, Colby Covington, that have been given a title shot 3 times and haven't won the belt.
Apart from Colby, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is it just Colby?
Mm.
Surely there's another name out there.
Gustafson,
Has he been given who?
Jones, and then DC, and then Jones.
True.
I think that's it, maybe.
Narrowly losing 2 of those fights.
Look, guys, we're done.
Are we?
Yeah, I think we're done. Let's rate this drink. What's
What are
the
we
go?
at time-wise?
Heck, Blackson. 37 minutes.
That's
Not
all
too bad.
right
For a no news weekend.
That's right, mate. This is nice.
This is pretty good. Yeah, I've been enjoying sipping away at this.
5.8. It's a
Uh,
5.8.
yeah. All right. It's a 5.8. Let me put it up there. You can exit the show.
Whatever you were gonna say, I was going to even it out to a 5.8. Because I know in my heart, in my soul, in my pants, deep inside my ass, this drink is a 5.8. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for watching.
Thank you.
Please subscribe. It would be awesome, a nice little treat for us to get to 200 subscribers soon. We have been slowly chipping away at that. I think we've only had 1.
We've had 2 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's not enough.
That's
If
not.
you're watching this video, go down there, click the little red button, click
Subscribe.
the like, maybe leave a comment. Let us know what you'd like us to try in the form of a drink, and we will see you later.
See you later, guys.